And Michael, I want to go back to you and something you said previously. It sounded like you think the facts for James are worse than they were for Jennifer. And I want to sort of push back on that because one of the things that the other jury focused on was that she was the last person with the gun. And you definitely don't have that with with the father. And also, she was the last one with him who made that real decision not to take him home. So those two things, I think, work against her. But you still think the facts are worse for him?
I do. I think they're worse for him because he bought the gun, right? Because here's the thing, so my keys are on the counter. I have a bunch of young kids at the house. If one of them grabs the keys when I'm asleep and they drive the car out of the driveway and they kill somebody, somebody's going to ask whether or not I was negligent in where I left the keys, right? So to your point, somebody could say, well, she was the last person with him. But at the same time, he bought the gun. So I feel like when you buy a gun and when you have it in your house, I feel like the onus then comes on you because there's people who buy guns and people who don't buy guns. So the facts were better for her because she was able to say, I didn't buy the gun, right? He bought the gun and he and I were not exactly seeing eye to eye. And what was I going to do? Take the gun and throw it away? I didn't buy it, right? So I kind of just throwing my hands up and I don't know what to say. So for me, I feel like her facts were better than his. But obviously, she also was a terrible witness. She was a terrible person, her demeanor in the courtroom. So I'm still shocked that she did not get a hung jury. But I think her facts were better. And her attorney had more fodder. They had more tools. They could come back and say, we had nothing to do with any of this. I think it's a really good choice. I think you can't do wrong, go wrong because these mass shootings at a school, they don't just happen to a school, they happen to a community, right? And so the jurors have been impacted. Everybody's been impacted. And so it's a slow drip, drip, drip. It's like a Chinese water torture if you're the defense. I'm upset for them. So I know what they're dealing with. It's tough.